Hello, my name is Apostle Bakseva. I'm one of the Supreme Apostles of the Church Eternal Jesus Christ and Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day I apologize for inquiries. I'm seeing this broadcast
No, leave that
from
there.
episode in Region 3. That's near River Thames in royal capital of England, London. And the steaks for high-fire steak in London Mission, London Temple District.
Oh yeah, yeah, at the end.
And I'm intending to get some more explanation. What can we, or what can I and those who love me, what can Heavenly Father and Lord Jesus Christ do more for us? We do not feel that we have enough. We need some more. And we would like to be translated more in such heaven. So with that, what can we more do? So we recognize that there is a Brigham Young University, and recognize that there are very beautiful people selected from the eventually most beautiful families. And now my sister was not a Brigham Young student, even though she was having she was a director and sort of owner of the School of Dancing, and she's actually after me because I am an Melchizedek Christian holder and I have a project to translate also man heaven going ascend to heaven. Yet she was already having an accomplishment in the economy of this world, which was seemingly extremely glorious. She was also sealed in an example, and she had a patriarchal blessing, or have a patriarchal blessing, she's God, I believe. The general authorities officers of Jesus Christ's letter saying that absolutely forgiving her and are also rehabilitating her, as there were some letters of excommunication of her from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Saints. But I believe that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Saints now receives such a new heavenly face of the image of Elohim and Yahweh into the conscience of the members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Saints, and our sins are forgiven. And I also hold the authority of the Holy Order of the Son of God, the Holy Apostleship, which Supreme Apostle actually holds. So I'm also pronouncing the sins of members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Saints to be forgiven. That the baptism in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Saints by fully accepted and full force the ethic of baptism in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Saints by full force, and then my help me to repent and to restitute. Now, we had here some pressures. I am an active member of this Catholic States, and I feel extremely strong pressure of President Thomas Monson and other Salt Lake City prominent members of the Jesus Christ Latter Saints towards my soul. As my sister was eventually pronounced and executed, and my brother was not permitted to church, and I was both not a student of Brigham University. Now, my brother is also very excellent rescue force in mines. So he's a mine rescuer, and he worked in rescue forces uh, near the place where first presidency member, one of the presidents of first presidency, President Dietrich was born in that city, which is very close to the place where my brother was working in workforce. Now, my parents was also Brigham University candidates. They was experts for journalism. Both was ethnographers and choreographers. And there was really capacity as worldwide capacity, as marvelous. There also was extras for dances of folklore dances, of very dynamic folklore dances of the Slovaks and Ukrainians, but also of the Gorals, which is a Polish group in Slovak Republic, also Czech folklore. There was extras for Hungarian folklore and German, which was a montague of villages and montague places of Slovak Germans who lived in four mountains, Slovakia or in Slovakia, where I was born. And both my parents they was very active in researching traditions of the ethnicum according to geographical place. They was called ethnographers and choreographers. They was organizing beautiful programs, sorts of gala programs, really for folklore programs, of musicals, with music, spoken word, singing, and acting. It has been really beautiful to be born to them, and I'm very grateful to be born such capacities to the level of Brigham University. Really, all four of those with whom I was born was such a glorious capacity. Now, my grandmother, she was a piano teacher. So she also could be a student of Brigham University, and my mother was a member, and her mother, grandmother, was a member. Then I also have cousins. My grandmother's other daughter, the older daughter from my mother, she was giving birth to one of her sons, Sven Manson, and he was one of the assistant professors of German language in Brigham University. Eventually, which I don't hold because I don't have as many gifts of the Spirit, but I am applying the gifts of the Holy Ghost, so I might increase the perfection and resistance uh, from different pressures. So that's where we have inward and outward pressures. And I, Supreme Apostle Bakshaiva and Supreme Apostle Jesus Christ, I received calling by President Hinckley in 2002 in February, about 28th of February 2002. I received a letter home, and that was a great drama. My mother, great drama. So there was a drama like in the end. I was actually absolutely afflicted by some hatred which came as in Book of Mormon musical called Mormon Hell. So I was already a member and I was preparing for mission and I had this Mormon Hell in me. And I hope that I am a saint and I was praying for more of testimony because gifts of the Spirit I had since childhood only few and I was born in Celebration of Freedom country, and I'm sure that my grandmother's piano teacher, she had exceeding many gifts. She was born in, and it was the country was called Habsburg Monarchy of Austria Empire, which was including also Czech Republic and Slovak Republic and Slovenia, Serbia-Croatia, and Bosnia and Herzegovina, Kosovo, Cherna Gora, Macedonia, Hungary, Romania, eventually Bulgaria. All these countries were part of Ukraine and maybe more, uh, was included into Great Austria Empire, where my grandmother and also my grandfather was born, and also the other two of my father's side. He was a very successful businessman, and they could buy a house in a center near sort of Temple Square or the Cathedral Square, on 100 meters from Cathedral Square of the central Košice, which is the second major city in Slovak Republic. And there were my grandfather, uh, from my father's side, so that's father's father, would buy a house. As successful businessman he was, so house was built to one family, and then my grandfather became a very successful businessman, approximately in his 20s, and he bought the house, and my father was begotten and born in that house in the center of the Košice. Košice is now approximately 200,000 citizens, and there's great American projects called U.S. Steel. That's what I had there. Um, yeah, my parents, they was working also in folklore assembly of the U.S. Steel forebears of the U.S. Steel assignment in Košice. That before it was the Eastern Slovakia iron factories. It was called before so, and my parents was also working for them. So I said that I might now return to the main project, and that's translation of members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to the heaven glory and ascensions to heaven. So I would like to bring members this year. And what I am striving with these movies and interaction on Brigham Young University TV channels and YouTube, I'm starting to find friends at Brigham University who will be so generous that they will not only forgive my sins and please, and it would be lovely to me, and as much that it will help me to accomplish all the application forms and to move the whole my soul, spirit, and body united in a vital formulation of me suffering Apostle Bakshi, or as I don't know, looking or even better, more athletic, maybe with the pure skin, and I would like to shave also every day. Maybe I might not wait too long to be more beautiful. Maybe in 1 month and 2 months I might already get there. So I need to get funding, I need to get friends, I need to move there, and I need to be sure that I will be accepted by the neighborhood completely and eternally. That we set a plan of my own translation to heaven, Lord, and ascension to heaven. Eventually, we can open up the political party in Provo. I even more likely in Salt Lake City, as I was born to parents who had a house in time as I was born, approximately. So I'm now told that I don't remember. I really don't remember if they had a house accurate at the time or just short time before. But it was in town Spencer, Kimball, as I was born, 1979 and September 19th. And I actually was born in Alcid, which is northern city of salt, and there was a really salt cooking factory where there was cooking such a sort of not perfectly pure salt, which is the mind in a deep mine. So there in the city where I was born, it's called Preso or Preview. Preso, I think Preso is a more correct formulation, and then in Preso, which is very close related to the strawberries, as the strawberries are maybe also in the coat of arm of Preso. So there is sort of black and white field of black and white stripes, which are similar to the stripes of United States of America flag. And then on top there was three strawberry flowers, according to my remembrance. And what else is there is mineral waters with natural fish and much more. So because I was born parents who about the time as I was born had the house, which was in the center of Kosovo, which is the second major city in the whole country of Slovak Republic. So I'm expecting Brigham University students that they will get in coalition or in teams also for me, as I, as a Supreme Apostle of Jesus Christ, am striving to translate members of the Church of Jesus Christ, listen to myself and my friends into the heaven Lord and my ascent to heaven about this time, the 16 years of this center, which now we have July the 3rd, 2013. So I'm congratulating all those who know Jesus and I'm actually it's good about this time birthday. So I'm congratulating to all those who love Jesus and to Jesus and I'm congratulating and I dedicate this video to most I haven't done Father, Son, Eternal Son, such Eternal Son, Jesus Christ, the only begotten flesh and master of mine, and it's from Apostle Bakshi, and to all translated beings who was translated and ascended to heaven while they were still in their vital form of living, as written by the United Bible form in the Greek language. It is also to the Olympic city, Salt Lake City, formulated and the name of the unity of spirit and body um, is Carlo Garcia. So I also myself was aspiring to be Olympic winner, at least for some hours. And I was maybe sometimes coming to the level I was representing school once in sprinting, and I was having a really glorious start. I started and we already didn't have that house. The house was sold in town Spencer W. Kimball, so I think that Spencer W. Kimball moved against me and against my forefathers, and they really sold the house in Central. But I was given that gift, and I was having a perfect start to represent the school in which I was, the basic elementary school, and first 20 from 100 meters, I was absolutely first. Some said only 60 meters first, so at least 60 meters I was absolutely first, and I believe that I exceeded those others at the start, and I really started on time. I mean, I was not late. And the others was somewhat late, and I was late in as much that they was behind me up to 2 or 3 meters, and maybe also up to 5 meters behind me. So I think that I could really get to Olympic record in sprints, track and field, and I could represent Brigham University. Because I was sometimes running also as a member, I was ever in 71st Rescue Brigade, and I was a commander cooperative. I was also regulated traffic, and I was as commander cooperative the instructor in basic camp. And there I had some time. It was not much time because President Hinckley at the time was president, and he was setting there so many services. I had every second day 24-hour service, and I was really exhausted. But they was committing me some energy. Also, the explorers of the church, primary young men, young women, and other the holders, males and females of the Church of Jesus Christ Lessons, and their Slovak friends was granting me some energy, so I could also run, and I sometimes ran up to 12 kilometers if I remember well in one. So I was running, and I was running also in speed, and as much we had a football team, and I was not part of the football team, but the football team, there was very good running, and they were sending one of those good runners, or maybe best runner, and he was running with me, and he came and volunteered to be with me, and I'm really pleased that they went. I have forgotten some names on. I'll soon remember the names of each one. They will introduce themselves to me. I would like them also in our Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We need help. We have Brigham University. We need some more Slovaks to be accepted, and I myself will like now to be successful. So if there will be anyone Brigham University willing to help and persuade those responsible persons, especially the ones of Irish or Firm's apostles, to get along with their temptation to do anything else as the election of me of Supreme Apostle Bakshayva, I'm absolutely sure that they'll experience that I'll keep the commandments of Lord Jesus Christ, also those 10 commandments of Moses, and also all those Muslim commandments, which exceeding 10 commandments of Moses, those biblical commandments, to the absolute most of the translation therefore in a sense to have an equity of the household of Jesus Christ second time around, as Jesus Christ the second time already among us. So as I was ever at basic elementary school, as I was some 14 years old, I was representing school in second period. I was also doing martial art. I actually am not very proud at all. I'm a really humble person. So I'm really grateful to have a father who was helping me to have many friends. I'm learning Wing Chun. I'm not looking forward to do much about learning Wing Chun in this close future. But I'm grateful for all the friendship we could establish and for all the best we could have. Learning Wing Chun is really a glorious organization. They have really many countries. Techniques are really the best from all martial arts. They are the best. I am now free, so I'm not continuing for over 3 years. So it's maybe 11 years since I last time was really exceedingly exercising learning. I was a very talented student. I was in level 9 of student degrees or student grades, and I'm speaking to very many, and I believe myself not to be excluded from learning. Even that I am very far from philosophy of Zen Buddhism, which is the main philosophy of Lao Tzu up to this moment. Not because we have here now extreme lots of Christianity influencing Lao Tzu since Lao Tzu was actually established in the time of Joseph Smith's birth, and now it has about 213 years, so 205 years since it was established. Wing Chun was permanently approximately in the time his parents of Joseph Smith lived, and she was very talented in learning from a non-boy according to the story, sort of legend of Nirgamuri and Wing Chun, which is quite famous also in the So I'm looking forward that when I have me, a Superman was boxing, will not only as a representative in fitness and rescue services, because I was water rescue lifeguard, so I was in the 71st Rescue Brigade of Slovak Home Office, supervising the basic camp, and one of the commanders cooperatives. We had a number of them, and I, at that time, as a young member, ironic crystal holder, and also, actually, I was ironic crystal holder mainly, while I was supervisor. Then to the end, I received also milk as a crystal while I was in 71st Rescue Brigade. And I was there supervising three main groups. So we had water rescue lifeguards, but I was also water rescue lifeguard by another organization, the Slovak Red Cross, that was also related to military, and some of the they're now generals. There was almost generals in the ranks of Slovak military in those times. Now it is North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and they was granting me bronze level. I was not silver nor gold in water rescue lifeguarding, but I am water rescue lifeguard former and sort of future, or at least in substance also present water rescue lifeguard, as I am one of the apostles of Lord Jesus Christ, so I am actually supervising the rescue activities, so I'm looking forward that men might be rescued also from water. We had also in 71st Rescue Brigade in Slovak Home Office fire rescue, and they are now included also in non-quantitative taxation forces, and also chemical rescue from chemical dangers or chemical catastrophes, and the air or the water or all the area might be contaminated by any chemical contamination of any chemical substance. So I am looking forward to my happening in Brigham University, also as a visitor school in reciting. So I, was actually was ever reciting and representing the school. Outside of school, I was actually not getting any further as a second from maybe only 10, which was also quite good, but only the first one was continuing to the county one, so I was only in smaller, let's go maybe borough one. So I was second score in the borough level, and then I was in the level of county, and then it was the whole country, was as a fourth level, so I came from school to borough level, several schools, and I'm inviting the Brigham University students to think about me as about the most creative one, as I'm the only supreme course level this time, only in health score, but I'm looking forward to obtain not only high priesthood, but also a position on the general board of Jesus Christ Literacy above the corner of the presidency, and to marry someone who lives the racial race of extremely similar, but I would like to be friends with all members of Jesus Christ Literacy, eventually all Brigham University students. I'm a full member of Jesus Christ and Latter Saints, and I would like to be so quality as Jesus Christ. Pardon, I would like to be quality of Jesus Christ, so I'm looking forward to my have me. So I'm actually elect to join board of Jesus Christ and Latter Saints about the form of the presidential Jesus Christ and Latter Saints candidate for the United States of America presidential election, and as would we might reach through the political movement in the United States of America and European Union in Slovakia that might have referendum and plebiscite in Slovak Republic where I am still citizen and national, and I was born there. So referendum and plebiscite is quite easy. America is very popular. Americans and Church of Jesus Christ is very popular in the press. So even the President was trying to mask the differences of terror of Slovaks and sorts of trouble Slovaks. But we love President we're forgiving him. So since President from now on forgiven. And we're looking forward to we might have new history, new work, a new, not only decades, but long-term mode of Americanization of Slovak citizens, Slovak national in the sense of love, not in the sense of terror, as was past, but in the sense of love, and sense of also economically and spiritually and physically, economically also, the economy and finances of each single person in Slovak community is exceedingly high. Actually, equality equalize with those prominent members of the Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I would like the Slovak would like to Utah. So I might get to Utah easily, and it might have for me also elected American president. The most important is my ascension to heaven, and also translation to heaven, ascension to heaven of my friends. Now I'm looking forward to have Brigham University of prominence in Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints also. Now I would like to be the most beautiful from us. So I would like to have the greatest stature. I mean, I'm already 175, and I'm looking forward to having my grow to approximately 190. And then to 213 centimeters high. I am wearing the new length of garments, so I would like to get that number 24. I'm actually, at the moment, looking forward to keep all the 10 commandments. So I'm thinking, I'm thine only God. You shall have no other gods before me. It's the other part of the 10 commandments. So all these 10 commandments I would like to keep. And also faith, also virtue, all these 10 special doesn't kind of goodness, gentleness, diligence, all these 10 commandments. To pray only to the Most High Heavenly Father to heaven in the name of Jesus Christ. His will be done. And His name will, His will be done on earth as in heaven. And we might be translated more as such a, we might have multiple weddings and marriages also in heaven, an example, also heaven where Elohim Yahweh ultimately dwells, and also the temples of which Jesus Christ latter saints, and in chapels and day centers and culture hall, and we might have also somewhat more of pleasure sphere measures, joy sphere measures, health and wealth, which is very united. With the iniquity of the house of God, which is got sometimes perfect and perfect. So heavenly inspiration, we're looking forward to be perfectly forgiven and to forgive perfectly, and if we might really protect one another. As I have here different sorts of reactions of the public, which are the most glorious reactions. Now we had here to use the name of God only appropriately. So that commandment is related, I believe, in our aspiration to ascend into heaven. So that's that Elohim Yahweh has power, kingdom, and glory forever in the name of Jesus Christ, Master of Mystery, and by the authority of the holy order of the Son of God, Lord Jesus Christ. I will then authority, holy order, Son of God, as President or as President. That's what I'm now looking to be elected to board of president. There might be also Sunday to be holy. It is very easy for wealthy members of Jesus Christ of Latter Saints to keep Sunday holy and to help one another to perform all the fitness exercise in fitness centers the other day. I actually think that some basic fitness like few push-ups, pull-ups, and few of the setups, eventually stand-ups, might be of those four, maybe 10 of each, might be also Sunday performance. With Sunday is commanded, but not too many, right? Sunday is commanded for bringing relief to all those who need to receive relief and to prepare the monitor who actually needs relief and what can we start doing to perform for them if they're just in poverty or also in hospital. I'm looking forward to be more and more vital, so I'm looking forward that I to organize most specific funds. And I'm asking for friends who would like to ascend to heaven with me. I mean, I'm not saying anybody to give up with life, but to really continue with life. If I asked for any presidents to resignate in the Church of Jesus Christ as they were signed, that was because there was maybe as presidents coming overstepping their responsibilities and they was coming to terrorizing people as president. So I thought such president to resignate, which is protecting their life. If you remember, Joseph Smith sometimes he was also yielding to temptation and he was organizing militia and went against and the reaction was extremely harsh against him and he died. But I'm looking forward that I'm protected by our society and by young men, young women, and by priesthood of Jesus Christ of Latter Saints, or officers of Jesus Christ of Latter Saints. So we might have our own most beautiful experience with me to be very healthy and very forget. Now, Sunday to keep holy, that's such a wonderful subject. I believe that if I would be living in a freedom university with all those students in the neighborhood, the Christian Muslim will permit us to have political party and better television. This one is really glorious and quality television and YouTube television, but I believe that we may have something as CNN or BBC, and we might have it at Brigham Young University, and it might be independent from the censurations of Christian Muslims, but might have really focus and emphasis on transfiguration of Jesus Christ upon the Mount and law of temporal salvation, word of wisdom, from the cafeterias of Jesus Christ's Latter Saints menus, from those menus cafeterias of Jesus Christ's Latter Saints to the modern word of wisdom vegan form of Garden of Eden, or eventually vegetarian, humanitarian services vegetarian, and church welfare of Jesus Christ's Latter Saints vegan. I look forward that there will be no constraints and no commandments regarding the word of wisdom, only as a high council, as a greeting, or as a word of preservation. Yet that there might also at the same time not be any temptation of alcohol in the temple, like vodka, rum, whiskey, which high percentage of strong alcohol should not be sold or given at a temple cafeteria as temptation. Also coffee and tea from the coffee beans and tea contain some of the indisposition cafeterias or temples or churches specializations BY cafeterias. Also the tobacco cigarettes, or maybe because we are told not to smoke tobacco cigarettes, but there are also other cigarettes, electronic cigarettes, it's modern cigarettes. I was invited on a street by some agents, some experts who were smoking, and they was granting me electronic cigarettes without any weed, without any weed or wisdom or tobacco inside, and it was really giving smoke, and it was really having also nicotine. And I was actually saying, please better not, because I don't know the actual members, but I can already so clearly see Jesus Christ with a cigarette or a pipe in mouth. Well, I now see cigarettes in Jesus. So, but then maybe general conference, because I'm looking forward as future general conference speaker, president of Jesus Christ listeners, or job or Jesus Christ president of Jesus Christ listeners. I'm looking also forward to be permitted among the creamy families of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints who's got the funds for food, and therefore they are not granted any extra situation to get food in this market economy, and the government of President Lonzo, which is the military forces. And so I'm looking forward that we might have me to have also clothing of most quality and the price, which is really President Lonzo, for example, have the same price. And as I will present, I'll permit therefore to each member of the Church of Jesus Christ license, regardless of race and regardless of geographical presence, equal portion of money and prizes. I'm guaranteeing in every place where church members live, every government will have prices lower as now in Salt Lake City. I don't actually know the prices of food and prices of clothing and accommodation in Salt Lake City, but I live in London, and I'm sure the Salt Lake citizens know the prices of London with their spiritual gifts and gifts of the Spirit. So I'm hoping to, from now on, share with me, and from now on, invite Londoners to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to investigate. We have a visit center open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on an exhibition note about the science of the South-Facing Tube Station. And if there was any inconvenience, I'm sure the stake president on the stake, his name is Felix, will compensate anything which needs to be compensated in my favor, as Boy Scout leaders are compensating in favor of the Boy Scouts. Show the philosophy or the gospel doctrine of Jesus Christ that the strong man maybe so that the stronger is taking the weaker. That's what the kids shall have also in Bottom Hall House and also in Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Saints. And the three points of the actual Boy Scouts greeting, Boy Scout promise might be also accepted into the priesthood form. The first one, the highest one, symbolizes Elohim, I believe, or maybe this one is Elohim and this one is a student. This one may be the transfiguration one or ascension into heaven one. And then the scriptural one is maybe the equity one. And the word of wisdom one is maybe the one of the wedding ring one. I believe that might be one of the explanations how we might see in London how to be translated and Lord to ascend to heaven. The members, full members, daily checking out exhibition road. And if capacity will not be supplying, there might build or full locations. I'm sure that there will be arrangements possible. And I'm looking forward that we might have many baptized. We can have in Hyperchapel up to 1,000 souls of non-members of Jesus Christ License, investigators of Jesus Christ License to be baptized in a chapel, in Hyperchapel in a baptistry per day. Thousands is possible. Also, in town we have a center there that might be the picture hole schedule might be affected, but it's really to have so many souls baptized in compliance. This is approximately what I said in my head. The petition on which we work is really glorious. It's a petition for Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus Christ, the first president. So Jesus Christ, the Lord says, that we might have translations that are more ascensions to heaven in the 16 years of this century. It is that we might consider the law of transfiguration of Jesus Christ the most important law, atonement of Lord Jesus Christ. To see if Jesus Christ atoned for us, so we don't need to suffer. And we have any sin which is asking forgiveness, Jesus Christ will deliver us to a level where we are not tempted anymore. There's the most who's got such funds that we can fund there. And we might also get some extra funding by a couple of countries from which we individuals baptized in Jesus Christ delivering to Utah. Now, I'm sure there's no perpetual immigration form, but we have so many forms in Salt Lake City. The church form is also expanded that we can use each form and all together in one as perpetually dimensional form. For that purpose, it's really easy, and we can employ members of the Jesus Christ Relations, also a new organization which we might call Jesus Christ Institute to institute of transfiguration, the word of wisdom. More perfectly, in my experience in Salt Lake City, at least their division of the Institute, Jesus Christ Institute, the Church of Jesus Christ Relations, the equity of the house of the Lord, Jesus Christ second time, already announced. Now, this is our petition. With us also the TV channel. We are very active members of the Church of Jesus Christ Relations, very innovative. Our petition is also to governors of countries, so it's not only to Elohim, Yahweh, and President, First President of Jesus Christ Relations, and also of Jesus Christ Relations, and officers of Jesus Christ Relations, but it's also to area officers, and it's also the petition which we do to ascensions to heaven and the sun, and also to governors of countries and governors of unions. In places where we live, they might also decide to be translated somewhere and to ascend to heaven. They might feel their sins are forgiven, and they might have the easiness to restitute anything what they have done, or ask Jesus Christ that He will provide restitution in their behalf by those future generations, and they might ascend to heaven speedily. And then they can be orators of all those who need oratory or advocacy, and they might have their love now on. Jesus Christ was asking us to be more perfect than Him. Jesus Christ ascended into heaven only after 33 hours of sleep. And this was having maybe 8, maybe 10 hours of night naps, but sometimes he had up to 33 hours nap. And then he was getting right. And the last time I see a reason, and then we also sing about it, was he was 33 years old, and it was only after 33 hours of sleep. And it's really beautiful and glorious to me. His example is glorious. We also outfit so, as we are approximately 33 of age, we still ascend to heaven. And just ask that even more glorious and greater acts to accomplish through His atonement and by obedience to laws and the gospel, that will not shock each other or shock members of the discussion and not into the temptation. Let us inspire each other, only have us elect members that well fare, that we might have fare well, and might ascend to heaven. And I sing to you also, well, that we shall accomplish even greater acts and preparatory to those acts of Jesus Christ all the time, or beginning of New Testament, approximately 2,000 years ago, or 1,980 years ago, is recorded in the Bible, New Testament, Gospel of the Saints, Divine 14, verses 12 to 15. Now we have also chapter in John, in the Gospel of the Saint John, chapter 13. We have somewhere about how to share the gospel. So the members of Jesus Christ Relations might testify approximately on this way. Yeah, I know and I testify that the baptism in the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter Saints is the gate unto our translation to heaven, glory, and ascension to heaven. Therefore, I'm inviting all who are not yet baptized in the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter Saints to be baptized in the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter Saints and to experience the beauty of those waters of baptism in the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter Saints, where people are entering the covenant of God to know God. And I already know Him, and as a matter, I know that He's exceedingly lovely and that He forgives. And those who forgive Him immediately are blessed exceedingly and have easiness in restitution. And all those who already restituted have easiness to help others to restitute. That's what I've learned also in McDonald's. I'm sure that we have experienced McDonald's in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Saints, and also outside the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Saints. I'm in one family McDonald, and they have a beautiful daughter, Hannah. I'm not sure if Anna is already married or not. She was the only child that I've seen her. And she'll now remind me how I was in maybe 9 or 8. So I remember how so she was very beautiful and she was a child. She was supposed to be 10, I think. But something she was 12. Now she's already, I've met the family McDonald's at the time, so I was working in McDonald's. And they was really glorious to us in Slovak Republic. They was giving us such managerial rules. For example, like, clean as you go. They were that real glorious. So always as I went, I was cleaning as well. It was so easy there. And everything was really clean. Also the floor, also the wheels of the tables, the tables was clean. I was saying thank you and please most often as a manager, as a finance manager. I was on the crew and I was mainly working at the cash register. And I think we were saying thank you quite often, but not as often as in the kitchen. We was always receiving any order please, and then we was receiving order thank you, and then we was accomplishing the order. And as we had some time, we was helping others. It was also amazing if I was committed to keep those rules. So I'm thanking also company McDonald's. It's glorious the Church of Jesus Christ Latter Saints accomplishing in the company. And I was just in summer. I'm most likely at that time to work at a company called Dell, parent company named Dell. But also in McDonald's it was glorious. And this management tricks, I was really giving all my heart to translate all the stuff in McDonald's. And the company McDonald's to heaven glory, that I sent to heaven, and I'm still continuing. Now I'm also sometimes eating bread and manger, so I'm looking forward to give them also to them. Their excellent services. I think the bread and manger food is at the moment my favorite. So I'm sure that they'll help me to receive anything with maybe the better thing. I'm doing my best to be most honest to them that they might like to be translated to heaven or sent to heaven. Now my favorite company, the highest heavens where Elohim and Jehovah lives, has got filial owners named the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So I'm inviting once more all into the Church of Jesus Christ listeners and I testify that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is the only kingdom of heaven and earth, eventually to be translated to the new name, the Church of Jesus Christ, the later lived saints, or the Church of Jesus Christ, the present saints ascension to the highest heavens. We might finally have that glorious part. To it I add the hymn. Jesus Christ commanding us to sing and to love one another. Love one another as I have loved you. This new commandment, love one another. By this shall man say you are my disciple. If you have loved one to another. Yeah, I'm now remembering that I was born in Celebration of Freedom Country, and that the first president of Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was, and I'm not sure if it was even prophecy, I think it's prophesied only somehow secretly, that the first presidents and counter-apostles went into war against my forefathers, who was just regular citizens and it was the country was named Habsburg Monarchy or Vienna Austria Empire with Hungary. So Austria-Hungary Empire. And my forefathers was living there. And the first president's colon apostles went into the war against them, and they called that war, and they named the war First War. And then they went into the Second World War, named Second World War, also first president's colon apostles against my forefathers. And then they made a Cold War as well. And now I'm looking forward to my celebration of freedom, finally, as I still feel in sorts of Cold War, some sorts of pressure, which is excessive pressure of present emotions towards myself, but I'm still in poverty. But in poverty, Majesty is second, present emotion, Majesty second, which is countries, is freedom of press, thank you, food, friend manager, and other companies. I'm really amazed what everything in Cold War was possible for Slovaks or for others. I'm still in the Cold War constantly until today. But I'm a member of Jesus Christ of Latter-day, so some of the celebration of freedom we already have. And we would like to have much more of celebration of freedom, such as wedding in heaven, in the temple in heaven, ascension to heaven, and wedding in heaven, temple in heaven. And also other marvelous discovered about Heavenly Father and His loving heaven so glorious that He is permitted to us. Maybe we might be permitted to marry here on earth, then to heaven, but I prepare first then to heaven, to marry in heaven, and to have posterity in heaven, to live them there, or at least here on earth, marry and to have joy and posterity here on earth, and me, Stephen Apostle Boxer, to be elected General Board of Jesus Christ Lessons of the Conference Presidency, and also United American President. So I love you. I aspire, while I'm here in European Union, I aspire to be European Union President or President of European Parliament. So if there will be any friends to help me to get already the level of the Parliament member of the Parliament in European Union, or at least councillor, I'm sure that their forgiveness and their administration of the Lord would be really appreciated. And to have the fullness of the love, I'm vegetarian. So I'm actually planning to be vegan, so I'm sort of vegan who is not yet permitted to the vegan form. And I was already 4 years vegan, and I was abstaining from bread and chocolate at the same time. So you can't imagine what is that for marvel what I received for gifts by the President Hinckley. All these gifts came by President Hinckley. And I think President Hinckley extremely loved me because I'm planning to be an expert for journalism and politics to be the best source of president. Some printing businesses we also need, and some management is also needed. So President Mons is going to feel as secondary prophet, appreciating President Mons. We wish that his chancellor ceremony and ascend to heaven. Also, he already did kill his wife, and his wife was really dead. But they was arranging such a situation when the sister Mons was actually not announced as killed, but only naturally dying. So President Monson could for a moment deny the gifts he had from the fullness of the priesthood to ascend to heaven and his wife with him. But President Monson, don't be in panic, be in of good cheer. We remember your words of humility as you was talking to a conference, and we wish that you will now resurrect your wife, that you will use those keys, those authorities which thou has. It is a fullness of authority, it is fullness of power, and it is really fullness of authority of Lord Jesus Christ to raise your wife. Now I remember her name is Francis Beverly Johnson Monson, and we commend you, Francis Beverly Johnson Monson, to arise and to come forth unto your husband Thomas Spencer Monson and to ascend with him on his side into heaven now in July 2013. In the name of Jesus Christ, Master of Supreme President and Supreme Apostle Boxer Eagle, Archpresident, and by the authority of the Holy Order of the Son of God, which I, Supreme Apostle Boxer Eagle, and we can say also Amen. The Archpresident, I give him one baby. So I love you. Bye. Farewell. God forgive us till we meet again. As soon as I do forgive.